Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Can I please have your attention?
Now it's showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
All right, people, what it do? We are going to do some Ecamm things like that. Okay, we're going to get into doing the demo real quick, and I will just set my Ecamm up real fast just because I like to make this simple for folks, especially the new people. If you're new around here, please let us know so we can help tailor the situation towards you. A lot of people have seen this well over 100 times. So, yeah, we want to make sure that you get what you need, and then we can always come back to whatever they need. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So, let me pop over here. I was messing with Stream Deck yesterday, so it's all out of whack, but let me just move some things out of the way, and we are good. Okay, so this is my Ecamm window. This is what it looks like. Well, normally not no, but when we do the demo, I like to start out like this because a lot of new people, they jump on Ecamm and they see all of the panels and whatnot, and they freak out and they go, oh, this is really hard. And no, because if you don't need all of those panels, turn them off, right? You might just want to go from here, right? Don't need a panel for that. I just have a button. I just press a button, right? So you don't need to have everything staring at you if that's not what you use. You know a lot. I know you know somebody in your family, and if you don't know somebody in your family, it's probably you that has no idea what all of those other buttons in the car means. They know where the steering wheel, gas, brake, and the basically transmission handle is. They don't know anything else. They don't know what the rest of those buttons do. If you saw the button with the little circle on your air conditioner, some people have never pressed that button, and they've owned the same car for 15 years. So same thing. If you don't need those buttons, don't touch them. All right, here we go. My volume is fine. You check your own. I'm just saying. My volume is absolutely fine. Everybody else will tell you that they can probably hear. So just crank it up on your end or limit distractions with headphones. There we go. All right, anyway, so let me start with bringing up my... Actually, before we do that, let me talk about how we set this up. If you look at my setup here, I have I moved my Stream Deck buttons and it messed me up. I have a bunch of shows that I do. So these are my profiles. Think of profiles exactly like houses. Each one of these houses will have a bunch of rooms in it, and each one of those rooms will have a different set of furniture. So, for instance, this is the Ecamm demo. I can't change while I'm live because it just doesn't work, but I have like 7, 8, maybe. Okay, I can't count. There's probably like 10 different setups that I use, and I use those profiles to switch in and out. Think of each one of those as a house. Okay, now we're going to bop up the scenes. So here's the scenes window, and as I was doing this yesterday, I had it all set up for a particular podcast. I'm going to go in here and delete all of this mess. It's all gone out of there like Vlad. All right, so now we're starting with just the basics. I keep my end screen because I don't want to remake it. But anyway, if you're ready to build something like this, first thing we're going to do is add a new scene. Now, in my story, their scenes is your rooms. Each one is a different room, and then each room requires furniture. This is when you bring up the overlays panel. The overlays panel is going to allow you to put certain furnishings inside your room. Okay, James, you ain't new. All right, so let me go in this particular panel here and 86 all the furniture. Okay, let's just get rid of it. Gone. All right, I'll even get rid of the area rug. This is a blank room with nothing in it. So what do? I come down here into the overlays panel and I press on camera. That gets me this particular camera so I can move it all around, right? Now, I know a large portion of you use the camera from up here. All right, so this is the camera from up here. I'm going to open up this panel because I like it. This is how I do cameras. If you have your camera set up like this, cool, but not as much control, right? I don't like this particular one because I have not control, right? Let me even poop off the zoom and pan so you're looking at the full angle of my stuff. But look, no zoom and control. I can't move this around. I can't do anything, right? So I'm going to close these panels back to make it less confusing. But there's nothing wrong with this. I personally just don't do it this way. I tell, if you don't write nothing down, write this down. Start with blank, okay? Start with blank. Inside your preferences, under video, it says default source mode equals blank. This is how you do it. I don't let nobody tell you any different. If they tell you different, tell them to fight with me. Because there's no, trust me, it will save your ass one day. Just start with blank. That is the way to go. This is not the right button. Where's my button? Oh, Stream Deck, why you messing with me? All right, now not Stream Deck. What is this thing called? Roadcaster. I need to fix my Roadcaster because it doesn't do what I want it to do when I ask it to do it. All right, this should work. Check it out. I was smashing the buttons so fast on the Rodecaster Pro, I crashed it. Hold on, I'm going to reboot this. Good thing I have my pod mic just chilling right here to the side so that I can just grab it and go right back to work. That was fun. I've never seen it happen. I've had, this is the Rodecaster Duo, so it's brand new. That might be a problem. But I've had Rodecaster since day one. I have never, pressed a bunch of sound effects buttons so fast that it caused it to crash in my entire life. So that's pretty hilarious to me. Let me crank up these headphones so I can hear what I'm talking about. There we go. That is crazy. I've never done that before. Anyway, so let me reboot this. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, so going back to this while this is rebooting, let's go back to why you want to do it in blank. Because this allows me to just grab a camera, and I have it here. I can place the camera how I want. I can shape my cameras how I want, right? I could even go and use my favorite shape, which is custom, and do a full-on Geordie LaForge level camera, right? I can adjust anything I like. So to me, this is far more advantageous than the generic, just use this button as a camera. Give it a second. Roadcaster's freaking out. Ecamm. But yeah, just using the big camera, I never use this button, ever. Maybe when I'm going to Zoom, I'll use it. But other than that, I leave it off. So Command-Shift-B is how you get the blank. If you forget, you can also look up in the source window, and then you'll see there's B, there's L, there's S, right? So Command-L brings up the camera. Command-S brings up the screen share. And Command-Shift-B, do that. Do that, do that, do that, that. All right, so we're going to leave this back on 16 by 9. I'll put it up in the corner when I hit the box, and then I'll pull the edge down till I hit the box. And that is about what I do. Actually, oftentimes, I'll put this on custom, and I'll just bring this to about X wide. And then if you hit Command tilde, it moves the interface out your way. And I kind of do it a little something like this. And that's my setup. Then I'm going to show you how to add this area rug. So let me delete these two so you can start from fresh. And then I'll bring up my Ecamm assets folder. I leave all of my cool stuff inside this folder. And here is background that I wish to use today. And I just drop it in. Now, we're going to pay attention here. I have drop it in the current scene or showing background. I'm going to drop it in showing background. And why that is so that if I come to a different scene, it's still there, right? If you put it in only showing current scene, when I go to the different scene, it's missing, right? So you don't want to do that. The goal is drop it in showing background. Now, of course, people always ask, so I'm going to tell you, but people always wonder, can you put a movie back there? Yeah. Should you? No. But if you want to, you do you. You can absolutely put a movie file back there and knock yourself out. I don't think it's cute. People think it's cute. It's not me. You know what? But you do you. I'm not here to judge. Everyone who knows me is laughing because you lying, Doc. You're judgy. All right. Oh. Dude, that just completely did something crazy because now even the microphone doesn't catch. What? What? He has no inputs. Wow. All right, that's weird. All right, we sticking with Pod Mic today. I fully broke this whole Roadcaster. I'm unplugging it to give it a full restart. Sometimes people, we talk about this all the time in the community, but sometimes a restart is not a restart. Sometimes you want to do an actual hard restart, which means let the power go all the way down. Sometimes certain items, it stores things in a memory sorter, so you want to unplug it, let it rest like 10, 15 minutes, plug it back. That completely wipes it back to the intro. And this Roadcaster is so simple to set up, I could, in theory, just blank it back to factory and add my stuff later. Anyway, so let's keep going. We're just going to make this work with this Pod Mic. Not that it's a bad mic. I just hate this stand because it's huge. Anyway, so here we are. We got this pop in. We're going to go ahead and add a camera again. So I'm going to pop this. On this particular scene, I'm going to drop it in Squircle mode. And I'm placing about like cha. And I'm pick this up here. I like to put my interface back on because I have guide marks in my interface that help me, right? I do this so often that I kind of know where things are. So actually, I use the interface as markers, as, you know, this is the potential. Okay, so we're going to move this over, and then little light bites. So now we have our setup. I'm going to press on the pencil here and change this to camera C, right? Or I'll change it to camera D, which is going to be like a guest source, right? So you can pick your your guest sources like that, however you have it set up. I'm going to leave it on this. I have it set for my guest mode. All right, let's go back real quick and check on you folks, see where we at. Really? Because according to the meter, it's fine, right? Like, this is why you use meters. Well, I also just changed the mic, so God knows what it sounds like at this point. See, Paul says sounds normal to him, right? There you go. Yeah, that's normal, Andy. Yeah, that's normal. This is meant to wake you up. I can't do it right now. I'm not gonna bother. Anyway, yeah. What it do, Hank? Yeah, I just posted in my Discord about some Elgato stuff. Easy. Man, where I know there was a question in here. All right, this is why. Listen, people. This is why we say put a Q colon in the front of your questions, because I know there was a question and now I have to manually find it like a. All right. So, no, I don't. No, I don't. Nor should you. All you got to do is go in here, go to audio, select your mic delay, and adjust it to whatever it needs to be. Now, up until recently, I have been using my Streamer X, but now that I'm back to using the Cam Link, I know that this is 4. So I just set it to 4, and that's it. I'm square. You'll figure it out. See, thank you. I try to tell people, but nobody listens to me. I try to tell you, don't put that mess there. But everybody thinks, oh, it makes me look cool. No, it don't. It was the duo. Man, hold on, people. Give me a second. I'm going to go hunt for this question. This is why we ask you to put question marks. Oh, God, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, is there a way to change the green screen background while live? Yes. And like Paul says, I'm not opinionated, but don't use green screen. You do whatever you want. You do you. So if you're here, this is not going to be really green because I have purple, but it'll give you a little bit of an idea, right? So there's that. And if I were to place in a photo, see, it's trying to work. Let me turn this off. There you go. So there's the backdrop. And if I change it to this, it's a different backdrop. Or I can change it to this. It's a different backdrop, right? So, yeah, you can change them all you want. And you can just click the little box and find your own thing. If you don't want to use none of that, you can use anything you like, right? Just click that. Any file that you have in here that, hella try to function, you can select that as a green screen. Hey, let's try something. What happens if we try to put Shelly back there?
Hey everyone, it's Shelly.
Hey, be quiet, Shelly. Oh, you can. Look, Shelly's back there. Kinda. Anyway, so yeah, you can totally change it while you're live. I'm gonna go back to step 1. Don't green screen. unless you can do it perfect. It's one of those things that if it's not perfect, it ain't good at all. It has to be perfect. And there's not a lot of perfect in this planet. So a lot of light, well thought out, well educated, distance from the background. Do not try to green screen if you're slammed up against the background. I could do it because that's 6 feet back there. Actually, more like 8 feet back there. If I was to make that green, it'd be flawless. But yeah, be careful with that. Be careful with the power. With mighty power comes responsibility, whatever that thing goes. Yeah, there you go. Dude, now here's what's crazy. This is absolutely blowing my mind because with the Rodecaster Duo right now, there is not a single sound transpiring through this thing at all. Not one. That is crazy. How in the heck does that happen? Normally, like once you plug it in, it does something. We're going to end up doing a whole factory reset. I'm going to stop playing with this and deal with this later, but you know what it is. Once your brain is on something, let's do check for update. Firmware is up to date. Erase and reset the device. Okay, cool. We can do that. All right. Okay, then. So we're going to go back to this. And then we're going to do is close the second camera thing. And I'm not going to worry about sound effects for the moment. Let me do this. Go into my preferences and change this to the pod mic. All right. Now, what I'm going to show you now has nothing to do with the cost of tea, but I have to do this because my brain can't function right now, and my brain is important. So I'm going to go click on this. I can move this to up here. Click on that, and I want to do my hotkey. So I'll put on hotkey switch. And then my first hotkey to assign. Wait, there you go. Actually, check this out. I just need a hotkey. I don't need hotkey switch. All right, there we go. That is important. And then I can name this to zoom. All right. Now we're square. Now I can function because it lets me. All right, that was driving me crazy. I'm not squirreled. Right? Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you for defending my honor. Never mind, Paul. He old and grumpy. I don't like things that's not how they're supposed to be. Like it's a I don't know, Virgo trait. I need things the way I like them. And whatever I did broke it, and I wanted to fix it because I don't like open loops. Yes, it's hard. Yeah, I think there are not any out yet. But what I would do is just use the backpack that comes with the regular Rode. Ooh. Here we go. We got us a good question. People, let me fix this. Please don't just understand. For us here, it's Q colon. I did understand that, so I got you, right? But this is what we search for. And here, you know what? Let me just show you this right now because it'll make more sense. What I often do is, if you look at this box down chair in the bottom, is I come here in the middle of the stream and I go Q colon, I hit enter. And the only question I have is from Melvin and Paul with the instructions, right? I have never, not because I just didn't think of it, because most people don't do it. I've never searched for this, right? So it works still, but it's just a habit. We all search for the Q colon. So please use that one. But anyway, I got you. So in the middle of the stream, right? This is cool. I freaking love this. Right now, I'm doing my stream. Comic Boom has something cool. Says, hey, how do you leave a timestamp in the middle of your recording while you're live streaming? Let me grab you an additional camera here real fast, just because. And then I am going to switch this bad boy to my overhead, and it's not catching. Man, don't you just love it when the plan comes together? This is why I have my windows open, people. See, all of this hiding windows to make it cute, I mean, not like that. There we go. All right, so I'm going to drag this overhead camera in, and then, minus this cable, I'm going to just take my finger and press M, and then that leaves a marker, okay? Every time you hit M, that leaves a marker. If you do Shift M, it allows you to name the marker, right? Boom. So whenever I am done with this recording, and I can come over here and let me stop the recording. And then if I were to look in my folder where the Ecamm live stuff lives, let's go here. Movies, Ecamm live recordings, today. And then I didn't finish yet. It's going to wait until I'm done. But anyway, when it's done, inside this folder, you're going to have a text file. And that text file is going to contain all your markers, and everything will be there. And you'll be good gravy. It is literally one of my favorite features is the fact that you can actually mark the recordings while you're doing it. It's glorious. So yes, all you do is come over and press M, and it'll leave a marker. And then if you do Shift M, man, dang my fingers, right? If you hit Shift M, it'll allow you to drop in that marker. I don't think there's a way to do it up in here that I remember, but yeah, it's just a matter of hitting M while you're recording, and then hitting Shift M while you're not. I mean, if you wanna label the marker, you hit Shift M. I don't think there's another key for it. But what you can do is you can set up a Stream Deck key also so that you can nail it while you're doing it, and that also helps. So super amazeballs questions, boom. What is this? What is that question? Or does? That's the second. That's a two-part question. Where's the first part? I don't have any must-have keys. See, y'all like to ask definitive questions. That is a good question, Dan. Y'all like to ask definitive questions. There's no definitive questions. I can stream if I threw the Stream Deck in the trash. This doesn't do anything, right? I take any program in the Mac. I don't care what it is. It could be Joystick, Joyride, AutoCAD, Photoshop, whatever. I immediately learn hotkeys. That's just me, right? So to me, the must-have keys for every program is the hotkeys. Like if there's a website, I'll print out the sheet, I stare at it until I have it committed to memory. So I can use every key out of my brain. I would say the only one that's everybody should know is Command Backspace, because that just switches you to the last scene. That's called my emergency key. Other than that, it's up to you. Some people never touch the hotkey. Some people don't even know that Command P is print. And they use their computer all day, every day, and they make millions of dollars. And so there's no such thing as a must. You got to do you. But there is no like magic wand, and now I'm cool. That doesn't exist. You got to do what works for you. My brain remembers hotkeys. It just does. I know people who can outcode me that does not know a single hotkey on their computer, but they can write entire apps. So that doesn't mean anything, right? Whatever. You got to do whatever you do. Now, same with the Stream Deck. The reason why you buy Stream Deck, so you don't have to remember hotkeys. So you just take the ones that you like and you put them on your Stream Deck so you can pap. That's the reason. It's a keyboard. It is a glorified keyboard with cute little lights on it. That's it. So it's just a keyboard. So that's why I got a Stream Deck. I don't know how to use it. You know how to use a keyboard? Yeah. Do you know how to use a Stream Deck? That's the same exact thing. They're no different. You just put what you want on particular keys. So I made this key on a Stream Deck because I use it every day. Other than that, I don't really use any of the rest of the stuff. The rest of them just jump me around from scene to scene. But I mean, I don't really get cute with it. So yeah, there is no must-have keys. There is no, if you eat the green pill or the blue pill, all of a sudden you're famous. That doesn't exist. You have to make up your own show and you go your own way. Go your own way. Sorry, I have musical Tourette's. Anyway, Patrick, I still wait. Where's the other half of this question? Does Ecamm store these items in the private locations for access for independent of your what items? I'm curious. All right, let me out of this because maybe it's hiding over here somewhere. Bra, bra, bra. Thank you. 912. You know what it is. Okay. Melvin says, try not to have gas, but I want a Streamer X. Now, what do I do with my RCP2 HD60? Go into the Ecamm Trader post and see if anybody want to buy it. I like my Streamer X, but I got to tell you, honestly, I still would rather have my Rodecaster and a capture card. Okay, there you go. If you move your Ecamm assets from one folder over, will it mess up your... There we go. No. For the most... I take that back. No. In quotations. For the most part, the graphics and things like that, they're going to get moved into the Ecamm folder inside System Preferences. However, if you move a video file, it's just toast. All right? So let me give you a prime example. Let's say that's live. All right, let's come here. Let me find the video files. All right, here's a video files. I'm going to take this video file and I'm going to make a new scene here, plus. And I'm going to drop this movie. I did not pick this music. It's from the Insta360 Go-To. Okay, so now, to Patrick's point. All right, I got this. I'm going to dip out. And then I'm going to take this movie file that's in this folder. You guys can see it here. And I'm going to press Command-Delete. Boom, she gone. All right, now, when I come back to that scene, Command-Backspace. Oi, not you. All right, anyway, whatever I threw away wasn't important because I don't really need things. If I hit this, it says the video files that you are trying to find is missing. Would you like to locate it? If I hit locate, I got to go to the trash to get it. So that's the only one that's going to eat it if you move something. However, if I go here and hit Command Z, I put it back. Now it's back where it came from. If I were to switch back, it comes back. You know what I'm saying? So let me set in, right? It's designed to mute when you go to movies. So if I switch back and forth, you know, it stays there. It's good to go, right? However, again, if I throw it in the trash and come back, he broke it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that is all. That is all. That's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, Patrick. Most of the other stuff goes with you. Like if you save a profile and you move it to another computer, whatever. So the point is, and to make this even more logical, the reason why I have a folder called Ecamm Assets, all I have to do is make sure that this folder matches my MacBook Pro, my Mac Mini, my iMac, the other Mac Mini, and the MacBook Air. And so I use a program called Hazel to keep it all in sync, and they're all identical. So every time you open it, it double checks and it makes sure that they're all the same, and if they're all the same. So that way, if I decide to take the MacBook Air and run to Starbucks, I could do a stream because all my is there. That's it. That's it. And I don't store these on the cloud though. So people say, oh, that's cool. I'm going to just stick them in iCloud. Never do that. Trust you me. Ask Daniel and Katie. If you store it in the iCloud and iCloud decides you haven't touched that file for a minute, it'll put it away. And then when you go to get it, you can't get it because it's gone. So I just use, it's rsync is the type of command, ChronoSync Express, Hazel. There's a bunch of apps that you can use to make sure that they match on various computers. But yeah, so I keep all my assets in a folder called Ecamm Assets folder. Boom. blood clot. Plus, you also know where stuff is when you're looking for it. Every once in a while, I find myself looking for something that ain't there, and it makes your face hurt. I like the fact you keep dragging up cameras from the new switcher instead of always changing scenes. 100%. I do this all the time because to me, it's just quicker. My hands get down like that. You know what I'm saying? I find that way simpler. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. And Andy has done this trap too. I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. Katie and Daniel, all of us have figured it out the hard way. Do not store that mess in the cloud at all. Not a good look. Yeah, Dropbox will be fine. Dropbox and Google Drive are fine because they leave things in place. Other than that, I wouldn't do it. I don't like Dropbox. I don't use it. I refuse to use it. People ask me to use it. I give them one of these. Oh, that was visible. I'm like, no, because Dropbox gets hacked once every year. Passwords gets jacked. They have been infiltrated about 12 times in the last 8 years. And yeah, I'm not trying to lose all my information to Dropbox because until they learn how to be security conscious, I refuse to give them any one stitch of my info again. All day, every day. Do it on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Abso-freaking-lutely. 100. Patrick, if there's time, I'll cover that at the end because it's super simple. Actually, first 2 videos I ever made in relation to Ecamm 3.5 years ago. How to make overlays with Keynote, how to make overlays with Final Cut. Actually, let me flip that. I think the Final Cut one was first. I did the Keynote one second because people was bitching about the price of Final Cut. So there. Literally first 2 videos I ever made. Who knew that making those tutorials will eventually get me hired? But yeah, there we go. Anyway, so going back to here, let's do this real quick. Pop here. I'm going to hit my text box. I like to bring this up. I keep my crowns over here. And then while we're learning some stuff, we might as well learning some stuff. And at this week, that is a bad word, dead. We'll talk about that tomorrow on my stream, but that currently is a bad word. Anyway, let's go into, look, here I have, these are all the fonts on your computer, right? And that gets old after a while of trying to find your fonts. So I have a situation here where it's called Ecamm. So I have the fonts that I use in Ecamm right here. This is me goofing off, showing you how to make one for Paul. Right? And, you can put that there. I made one when I was doing something with India, so you can put that there. I was showing Marine X how to do the same thing, and I made one called Army is Better, right? So, for instance, let me delete this. Boom. And I want to just show you this real quick because this will save your bacon. Come over here, press plus, and then let's pick on right? We're going to call it that. And I want it to be at the top of my list. So I'm going to put a dash in the front of that. All right, that puts it at the top of my list. So now I can go over here and hit on my all fonts. And I'm going to grab, where's Montserrat? I'm going to grab Montserrat, drag it in there. And then I'll do something crazy like, that goofy font we all call Helvetica. I'll just grab Helvets and throw it in there and then come all the way to the top and give me an Avener next. Boom, and throw it in here. So now, if ever I'm building something for Dan, I don't have to go looking all over the planet for these fonts, right? I have this font list called Paul is Old. This font list is it's for Dan, right? So now, whenever I quit this and I come back to hit this again, I'm not hunting for the fonts that I need. So if you have the ones that you use, go ahead and, knock yourself out like that. What it do, Tom? What it do, Tom? And what's up, Roger? Good to see you here. I'll come right back to that, Melvin. Give me a second. All right, so let's do this real quick because we're going to do schedule an interview because Melvin brought it up. All right, I'm going to hit that. I think my caps lock is on. Yes, it is. I hate that. Please stop. God, you can't type today. This big ass mic in the way, that's why. All right, that's how I do it. All right, so now I'm going to double click this again. I'm going to select all of this, pick my font. Let's start here. We're going to come into the top. We're going to hit regular. Then we're going to take this one right here, and we're going to hit bold. And then we're going to take this part right here, and we're going to semi-bold. And that is how I tend to do it. This is how I do it. Now listen, check this out. I have this set for the font of 64. This is me, you do you. I take the second line and I drop it down a single step. Perfect. Okay, now you know, this is way too hugified for standard issue streamer rating, right? So what you do, you grab one of these corners and you unembiggen it till it's readable, but you know, about how you like it. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna set this here, pull this out to the other side till I cover about 80%. Find the center, boom. That's just me. You set it up how you want. This is how I do it, always have, always will. Now, I step in here and step into liquid because I am weird. I have to make my joint fancy because I'm extra. You know what I'm saying? Boom, done. Now we in there like swimwear. So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to hit the zoom button, pop down here, hit on the folder, and we're going to call this host. Bam. We're going to drop in the name bar, drop in the camera bar. Bam. We're going to dip back out and then come back to Ecamm assets folder, which is hiding betwixt here. And I am going to find my Ecamm ping, unembiggen it. Oi! It's really hard to grab PNGs at times. You got to grab on something, hit it in the corner right here. And then embiggen it just a wee bit. Bam. In there like swimwear. So now, take that E, drop it in. I want you to pay high attention to the hierarchy here. If I were to put this behind the camera, it's hidden. You know what I mean? Y'all can't see nothing there, So make sure that you're selected. I'm going to hit this to make them all linked it together, right? Close this, and I'm going to hit Command-C, Command-V. Take this one, poop it out, and then I'm going to double click that one and type co, right? So when I boot back out of here, while this is selected, I can pick this up and boom, it's connected. What? Yes, it's connected because I put the little chain right in here, right? So now we can go and grab our guest. So we're going to take camera F, select guest one. That's what I do. I always select guest one as camera F because it stands for friend. Okay? So that's just me. I'm weird like that. Okay? So I use camera F as guest one. I use camera G as guest two. You know, however you want. It's up to you. So now we got this in place. Let me edit this. Should learn how to type. All right, and then all right, go like that. Bam. Then we're going to take this piece and I'm going to delete it. And then go like that. And Why can't I find a picture of a blue trumpet? There we go. This is completely wrong, people. Don't get mad, Melvin. I'm just gonna pick whatever I can find from the internet. Okay? Don't fight me. Dude, see, that's what he get for being weird with this. Ooh, I found it. It's close. It's close. All right. All right. This is close. It's not exactly correct, but we're going to call it what it is. Hey, come here. Oh, you know why? Because this is Miles Davis's version. Oh, these people won't let me steal this image. All right, dang it. And let me stop messing around. You guys know what it is. I would just put the icon over there. Jesus, do not scroll when you scroll. So now we're set up. Anyway, I'll put another icon over there at some point in time. So let me go to, what's up, J. Michael? Let me go to do this. Where'd you go, Melvin? All right. If I want to schedule an interview with Ecamm Live, what program to use to recommend? Does anyone talk to Ecamm as far as reminders? No. Here's what I do. I do schedule my stuff in Ecamm, right? So, I'll show you this real quick. It's hard to do this while we're live, but right here, this button says new. I press it. I set the whole scene up. Then, as far as booking folks, I use Calendly. And with Calendly, you can have it send both text and email reminders. So that's what I use. I use Calendly Pro. I want to say it's 15 bones a month, maybe 12. I don't know. I don't pay attention. But yeah, that's the answer. So, yes, Paul, it's custom pre made a month. All the merch, 10 bones for them shirts. So go grab yourself a shirt. Look cute like me. Let's see. That list of fonts is your Mac system fonts. So it's in there. Yes, Calendly is the best. It is the one. It is Simps. So, man, I know good and well somewhere in my messing around, I have seen that Martin blue lacquered trumpet somewhere, but for some reason I can't find it. This one that just popped up is from Christie's, and it's Miles Davis's one, and it's $250,000. Good Lord, that is cray. That is all day crazy. Anyway, you don't have to be a goofball like me, but I was just trying to find one of this. And here it is for anybody that's curious. This is just super nuts. It is super easy to add fonts to the library. You just go and grab it and double click it to open it. Font book will open up and automatically install your fonts, and you can come in here and build all kind of cool stuff. So here's what's dope about that font situation. If you look here, the one that I made, for Dan is right here. It keeps it. So my one that I use for my standard Ecamm streams is right here. So it keeps it so you can build your collections without even having Ecamm open, and then they will show up in there once you open it. So yeah, font book is gravy. Anyway, what was I finna do? I was finna do this because this is dumb. So I open this up in preview, and this probably will suck. And yes, I have better apps to use this for, but like I said, that one particular app that we normally use is in trouble right now, so we don't talk about them. They are like Bruno. So we just delete that. I could do this much faster with one of those apps. I do have one sitting right next to me, but I'm not going to use it. So we're going to call this a day, and you guys know what to do. So now I could drip it back in there and make it tiny. You jerk. It's PNGs, man. Whenever you're trying to grab PNGs, they always do that. You always end up grabbing through. All right, so that'll work for this particular demonstration because at that size, you can't see nothing. All right, in there, cool. Good to see you, Sad. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yes, this is important. Thank you, Paul. Let's bring this over here. Oh, I want to show you something. As I'm doing this, if I were to switch here, Paul's comment go 9-9, right? But if I were to take the comment and put it in all comments and then hit on Paul's comment, put it up at the top, when I switch scenes, it stays. Go anywhere, right? So if you want to have the comment stick when you switch scenes, put it in showing all scenes, and then it makes a difference. So yes, make sure you go to the giveaway. It is ecamm.tv/giveaway23. And the secret code for today is Team Demo. If somebody asks you, hey, what's the secret code for the demo today? Tell them none of their damn business and tell them to go and look it up themselves. There you go. Because they're just competing against you to win, right? And so we're giving away all the things. So you want to make sure that you're the winner. So don't tell everybody none of your business, right? Let's go back to here. We got this set up. And go back to this. And now what we're going to do is poop on the camera. Oh, so something Melvin had talked about earlier. This it works sometimes. Sometimes it's goofy, right? In theory, see, it didn't work this time. Sometimes it remembers what the last camera set you had was. And then when you go to add another one, it'll keep the shape. Sometimes it doesn't. But I think it just matters on where you built it, right? I think if I build the camera from here and set it to squircle and then delete it, the next time I pop in the camera here, see, I can't remember. I haven't figured out how it works, but some cases it will remember whatever your camera shape is. No one go and sign up. I don't want to compete with you. Here, the only reason why I'm doing this real quick is I want to show you what's in there. So now I'm going to hit on the screen share. Pooyah! And then I'm going to hit on Chrome, Google Chrome, go to here, and then bam, pop this there, and then we're good. You can, if you want to adjust this, you can set wide to custom, and you can play around with it until you get it like kind of sort of perfect. And then you can turn off the whole zoom to out window thing if you want. You can make it transparent back there if you want, but that also kills any green in the photo. Right? So again, I never use those things. That's up to y'all. But you'll see in here is the opportunity to win. You are going to get a brand new Mac Mini 8-core, 10-core, 8 gigabyte, 512 storage. You're going to get 2 tickets to Creator Camp in August. You're going to get a Switch Pod, a Streamer X, an Insta360 link, and a 101 with some ding dong to teach you how to set everything up. In which case, I'm going to be like, plug it all in, turn it on. Anyway, make sure you go and win. The 101 is more valuable than all the rest of that stuff. Boom. I'll just make sure you win. Then I'll tell them that Aubrey said I had to fly to Georgia. Boom. Okay, yes. If you bust out a song and we get off subject, we'll let the time keep going. You know, Roger, even though I have every single piece of this, I would have it again because my mini currently is on the table right here, but normally it's in my Pelican case. That's my take it on the road setup. This setup right here is basically exactly what I take when I want to go run somewhere real quick and do a stream outside of the building, like basically it. So I like it because it's mad portable. And that Insta360 link, this is it. This is the shot from the Insta360 link right here. So you can see. All right, so we did that. We covered the different types of images. Let's just make sure we do it again. This is for image, animated image. We didn't cover yet. I'll do that right now. Screen share, text box. We'll do clocks, widgets, and then we already did cameras and folders. So these are your different types of furnishing. Let's start with this clock here. Wow. You can just come here, click it, make your little timer. So you might be doing something where you need a little timer. Boom, in there. Everybody drink. You guys know what it is. It is time to drink. Roger, you have ticked the Ecamm drinking game. Reason why Roger don't know, but Roger ticked the drinking game. Every time somebody mentions make Ecamm run on an iPad, everybody got a drink. That's the drinking game. Unfortunately, it's 8 a.m. here, so I drink water. But after 12, I'm pulling out the Macallans. I'll put this in a nutshell. I won't be like Paul and go as far as to say never. However, it is important to understand Mac OS and iPad OS are really, really far apart. And I know, Roger. I know. That's why it's funny. And that's our secret. We have two. We have two that automatically get drinking games. Yeah, it seems like it's a simple process, not a very simple process. And one of the biggest reasons is the I/O on the iPad. For right now, and that's not saying that Apple won't fix this at some later date. Right now, the I/O on the iPad would make that a very difficult proposition. Let's put it that way. That's weird. I don't know what happened, but I lost camera sync, but it's all good. Anyway, so yeah, I want it to happen just as much as the next person, but for right now, the I/O on iPads won't make that a very simple task. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the coding languages between the two are very drastically far apart. The biggest one, how do you get, for the average muggle, I know how to do it, by the way, in case you want to know. The biggest one would be, how do you get Ethernet on an iPad? Because you don't stream on Wi-Fi. It's not a move. It's not a move. It shouldn't be a move. I know some of y'all do it, and then as soon as it don't work, y'all be mad. But we have warned you 1,000 times, don't stream on Wi-Fi. Plug that sucker in. Yeah. That's a longer conversation. It's just rsync. Just look for how to rsync between multiple Macs. And yeah, I don't use ChronoSync anymore. I forgot why I got mad at them and threw them away. But the typical Unix command is rsync and is relatively simple to do. Yep, dongle is the answer. And again, if I were to posit that, the Ecamm community, right? If I go in the Facebook group and I ask 100 people, I might get 10 that knows about the dongle. But most people don't. So they have an expectation that they're just going to grab an iPad and go. Then the other problem is I would go to guess the only iPads that could possibly swing it would be M iPads. And everybody that doesn't have an M iPad would be like, well, how come you don't make it work on these other iPads? And so, yeah, it's a can of worms. I hope it happens, but not in the near future. It's going to take some more I/O movement from Apple in order for it to get to there, but it is definitely not on our trajectory list. The other apps that do it are normally web apps, and yeah, we don't do that right now. So let's just leave it at that. It is a question, though. It comes up at least next week. when we do the Q&A, Roger, now you're in on the drinking game. Bring a nice beverage, whatever you love. Because when Ken and Glenn pop the Q&A next week, I guarantee you, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 people will ask that question. Yeah, Andy, I try to explain that in the nicest way possible. It's really hard because as developers, we get defensive. It's really hard to explain to people in the nicest way possible. It is not that easy. Anybody that did coding classes in school will remember just getting the database to do the thing. Just getting databases to do what they're supposed to do in SQL was painful enough. Yet, yeah. Anyway, it's funny. Roger, if you're drinking hot sauce, I think we might be able to be friends automatically because, yeah, that's one of my favorite beverages is hot sauce. All right, so we covered that. I know what to do. I want to show you guys animated things. All right, let's come here real quick and pop on a newbie. And I just duplicated the scene, by the way, so then I could take this one and 86 it. And we're going to talk animations for a split second here. Now, you guys remember when I grabbed this video of Shelly, I'll grab the Ian one. If I drag this in, it takes over as a movie and it wants to play, right? But we don't want it to do that, right? Because right now it's working because I have a little camera over here. But normally it's going to take over your scene. So what I want to do is take this movie and drag it into the overlay list. I'm going to get a warning. It says add an overlay and animated overlays don't cover sound. And, you know, do you want to add it as an animated overlay? I say yes. Boom. So now I get Ian and it works, but Ian don't make no noise. So what we do is I convert that into a WebM. And here it is. And if I drag it in now.
Hey everyone, it's Shelly
It's the
from
Shelly
Shelly
version,
Saves the
but
Day.
same thing.
I want to send some special love out to my
Ian Nancy
Ecamm
Gray
fam.
here. I have been
you guys
using
know how
Ecamm
much
Live
I
since
love you all. I love your product and I love.
So converted to the WebM format, you can absolutely drag it in. Oh my God, AG just gave me the worst flashback of my college life. I first learned to code in COBOL, and you have to put a period at the end of every sentence. And nothing's crazier than thousands of lines of code to be missing a period. And in COBOL, it's not very easy to go up and down lines looking for. Yeah. Oh my God. Whew. I just broke almost Nabal broke out in hives. I don't remember it. Put that question into the form for the next week's Q&A. I think that is a very good one. That is something that I want, right? I try not to throw my weight around and bother the boys. I let you guys request something, and then I explain to them why that's important. But normally, right before we do one of these, Katie puts up a form that allows you to ask questions to Ken and Glenn, and I would definitely put that on the questions thing, or do a feature request either via email or in the Facebook group. Just tag it as a feature request, and we'll put it in because I like that one. I love it when you can enter numbers because I know you know this 16 by 9. I kind of know where all the pixels go. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I prefer that. I prefer that above all. So there's that. I fully agree with you on that. We have zero control over shipping. Okay. This is the Ecamm demo. So yes, in Discord, not here. And let's just say they're both cars. One is more utilitarian than the other. So I would say it's like a Tacoma and a Tundra. This is what I was doing. See, y'all made me forget what I was doing. Let's say I want to do a countdown to a date and time. So I'm going to hit 7, 20, at 11 a.m. Why? That's when I go on vacation, 13 days, right? So that's what that kind of timer's for. All right, let's cover Paul's favorite subject. Boom. Let's go here. Overlays.uno. Thank you, Paul. That's what I was looking for. I didn't find it right away. I didn't want to spend too much time. That is the answer. Go to that form, pop it in, Melvin, and say you want to put numbers to type in your image sizes or coordinates, whatever. Because I agree. All right, so let me show you what a widget looks like. I'm going to press on this little globe situation down here. It says new widget. You hit it, and then I'm going to hit that. And I already just have the URL because it remembers the URL from the last time I had the URL. And so actually, let's embiggen this to full screen. And then there it is. I have a full functioning widget that I could get in, make changes to on the fly from someplace else. And I think it's dope, right? This is literally one of my favoriteest things in here is the fact that we can just come in and edit these overlays, sort of mess with it, do whatever kind of changes. Why are you trying to add a new one? I already have one. Where is my overlays? Oh, I hit this. Here we go. And then I hit this. All right, so currently we're talking overlays, so the thing is situated to that. But if I wanted to change that to the next topic, I could just come over here and switch this to the next topic, and it goes down, or the next topic, or the next topic, right? So these are live interactive overlays, and what's cool about these is I could have Paul changing the overlay situation on the fly, right? So let's go in here and switch this to a little lorem ipsum, and then toggle the ticker off, toggle it back on. Hey, I changed you. There it is. And then so my ticker is now, lorem ipsum dolor set Ahmed consecutor, right? All you gotta do is do lorem ipsum and read it in your script, and people would think you're casting a curse. Lobre et dolor magua magna aliqua et inum ad minum venenum. Aloha mora. Hey, mother. So as you can see, Paul can change from wherever he is. Paul can change the overlay because, he has the remote control URL, which is cool. So you send somebody this URL, you paste it into the Ecamm box, which I'll show you in a second. And you take this URL and just send it to Paul and praise Paul. He's stupid. Anyway, so look, once again, you click on the widget box. All you do is paste the URL that you grabbed your widget in from over here. Set your size. I like this one to be, let me adjust mine. So I like mine to be 1920. I prefer it. And then hit high resolution, keep running, and then it'll recapitulate itself, and then you can see it's a little bit clearer now. That's why I set mine to 1920 by 1080. And then you just place it in effect, and you're good to go. So absolutely like this. One of my favoriteest things. Overlay.uno. Paul will catch you the link in the bottom, and it's worth a look at. Now, AG said, what's your preference? Mac Mini for portables, always. Desktops over notebooks, any given day, no matter what. So, desktops do better with fans. Desktops tend to have, it's the fans. The cool thing about the MacBook Pro is the battery. The battery is there. But I don't know if you heard me talk about this before. I did a stream out in the streets a little bit ago, and I used a Jackery. I want to say Jackery 500. I ran a Mac Mini portable display, 3 Sony FX3s, monitors, the whole 9 yards. I ran that stream for like 4 hours. It didn't even blink. So, me personally, I like the desktop. It's just a you thing. It doesn't really matter. MacBook Pro is easier to move around. I give you that. But yeah, it's really up to you. Oh yeah, Bacon Ipsum is the bomb. Samuel Jackson Ipsum is also pretty cool, but I can't show that on screen. All right. Yeah, that's it. It's 9:12. What is up, Bix? Here's what we're gonna do. I wanted to show Patrick how to do the FCP overlays real quick because it's super simple, and then we'll pop into the Discord for the rest. All right, let me open up the cut of finals. I could also use this to show you how to do screen share overlays. Final Cut Pro. It's launching. It's launching. Okay, Final Cut Pro is launched. Let me make a new thing. Okay, come here, add a screen share overlay. Make this mad small so you can see more stuff in Final Cut. Move the stupid clock. And then we're going to bring this up to about like that. Press on the pencil. And then say Final Cut Pro. Bam. All right. So what we're going to do is go into our thing here and let me just look for my lower thirds. These ones are huge, but yeah, that'll work. All right, I'm just going to take this, drop it onto the old timeline, 1920, 1080, and we want 2997. This is the key. You want to change this Alpha ProRes to 4444. Most important, Alpha ProRes 4444. So I can select that and big in this line. And I don't know who this Emma Evans chick is, but we're going to do this. All right, cool. So now I'm going to put this to like right here. That is it. Okay, so it's done. I'm going to just go to my file menu and then do share, export file. And the key element here, again, is under settings, you want to set it for video only, no audio, Alpha ProRes 444, and then hit go. I'm going to save this on the desktop. And there it is. It's done. Here's the file, what it looked like. Gangster, right? So if I come back over here and drop in, again, you have to make sure you drop it in the overlay section, not here. Drop it in the overlay section, and there it is. Okay, it's kind of big, so I'm going to shrink it. And the other thing that I would tell you to do is put it where it goes, and then grab the Option key and crop it to where it needs to be. I'm not going to crop the bottom all the way out because it does pop up from down there, right? So grab the Option key, crop it in, and then put it like, round about here. Come over here, hit the hot key, and let's set it for L, and then bam. That's it. In there like swimwear. Now, let's say you wanted to be really obnoxious with it. Let's go back here and let's grab a sound. But this is going to be the other part where you have to go in and get your, you're going to have to use Shutter Encoder, right? That's a silly one. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. I don't like any of these, and I have to go to my server to get the other one, so I'm just looking for a simple whoosh for now. Here's a whoosh. Let's just take this one, drop it in here. So you guys might not hear this because I don't use system audio, but there's a whoosh. Trust me. All right, so I'm gonna spit this out, and then I'm gonna go export file. At this point in time, I'm gonna leave it with that. Change it to audio and video. Alpha ProRes 444. Export the file. Okay, so now it has a sound. And again, you guys won't be able to hear that just because I'm using my pod mic and I don't have it set up, but it'll make sense in a second. If I make a new one of these, you should be able to hear this. The whoosh under normal circumstances, right? So how are we going to fix this? Open up Shutter Encoder, drop this file in. Yeah, we good. Then go here in the middle, change this to VP9. VP9 is set to WebM. Not yet. Not yet. I'm busy. Yeah, I have it like that on purpose because I don't use system audio because I have my Rodecaster Pro. I borked my Rodecaster Pro earlier, Caleb. So right now I'm using a pod mic, and I didn't set it up to do sound, but I never use system audio because I like to run my stuff through my mixer, and I was doing something earlier in the beginning of the stream, and I hosed that mixer. So anyway, if you're here, all you have to do, everything is the same. Just make sure in audio settings you have that turned on. And then under advanced features, this is important. You want to enable alpha channel. That's it. So audio settings on, enable alpha channel on, and then you can go ahead and start this function. And now I got a WebM of basically the same thing. It's done. So when I come back to here now, and let's mute this one for a second. If I drag this one in, put it here, now you hear the noise. And again, all I do is grab I like to use this to see where I'm at. I grab the option key and torque that down. Not twerk, torque. Torque, like Torque, not twerk, Paul. And then bring it right here. So now, if I were to run this file again, you'll hear the little noise when it pops up. There you go. See? Simple. Simple. There you go. If you make the animation start at you made the animation, you're in control of that, right? If you didn't make the animation, you're not in control of that. If you make the animation, you're in control of that, right? Yeah, you just pick what you want and call it a day. It sounds like my tummy. You silly, Paul. You silly. All right, gang. That was it. I just wanted to show Patrick that it's real simple. Like, you can pick anything you want out of the Final Cut. If you wanted to have a transparent background, cool. You might not even want it to have a transparent background. You might just want it to be a standard, functioning subsequent movie film. And I will tell you my favorite spot. You can look at Envato Elements and all these other places to go get your stuff from. But this is where I get mine from. There's two choices. I'm going to show you both. Sorry, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. These are my two favorite spots, and I think their stuff looks the best. I think a lot of the other stuff out there not necessarily can look cheesy. So I tend to stick with motion VFX. And motion VFX, I get it. Why a lot of people balk. Let me move this out the way. A lot of people balk at motion VFX because their stuff is a little pricey, but it's pricey because it's freaking good. You know what I'm saying? It's not pricey because they just feel like being a-holes about it. Their stuff is pricey because it's good. But you know what? You get what you pay for. So I like to use motion VFX, and the other one I like to use is premium VFX. I don't know why I didn't go to the site, but let me show you. If you watch any of my videos, Ecamm tutorials, whatever, you'll see a whole bunch of this stuff in here. I love premium VFX. They have some really cool stuff in here. So, for instance, everybody that knows me, I am not a huge fan of just generic presentations. They're boring. So one of the things you can do is use this presentation builder to make really decent slides that will get you betwixt and between various things that you're doing. I did turn off the little obnoxious music, but you can use it to generate all kind of cool backgrounds and stuff. If you have to do boring stuff with charts and things like that, make it look better. You want to have a cool outro for your show, you could do something like that. So premium VFX is really cool. They have really nice stuff in here. And one of the really cool ones right now is the animated elements, because you could render these out. This is the old version. Let me grab the new version. You could render these out with the same background missing, and you can use them for little, pops of poof in your streams. Don't know what that girl's dancing about, but, you can do stuff like that. So anyway, if you're looking for some cool things in Final Cut, check this out. If you have questions about it, just posit it in the Discord, and I can help you there. Boom. yes, you can check out Bradley's overlays. But anybody that's asking how to do it in Final Cut, they're not looking for Keynote looking overlays. I'm just saying. It's the reason why I did both tutorials. I did because the Final Cut way is the way. The Keynote way is the... Nah, that's going to drive me crazy. This is why you don't put noise in, people. That would drive me crazy every time. The Keynote way is elegant. It's dope. It works, but it has definite limitations. Whereas, and actually, this simple one I made, you could easily make in Keynote. But, yeah, the Final Cut ones are way elevated from that. So... And by the way, if you're not a Final Cut user, you could do it in Premiere and DaVinci and maybe a couple other things as well. But yeah, there's a definite, we're not going to get into that, the sound thing, but there's a definite visual difference between the Keynote way and the Final Cut way. So they're cool, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. And I'll show you some more as we talk about why we don't use the C word right now. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to pop into Discord. Anybody wants to come and hang out in the family room for a couple of minutes, I have time. We're going to kick it over there. And then Paul will give you the Discord link as I'm saying this because Paul's hands are fast. Motion VFX. Let me give you links. Premium VFX. You can find Premium VFX through FX Factory as well. There's a lot of other brands in there, which are pretty cool. This is Premium VFX. And then this is Motion VFX. I love Motion VFX. If you watch MKB, whatever the hell that boy name is, Marquez, you'll see he uses Motion VFX. As a matter of fact, Marquez and Justine both have packs that are designed after them. So if you go here in the Final Cut Prizzy and you look, there's actually an MKB HD pack, and there is a iJustine pack in here as well, because again, all of the Pro Tubers, that's what they use. See? Hey, Justine. So hers is cool. It's not the Keynote, the Mac program. They're talking about Keynote, the Apple walk across the stage and look gangster program. So there you go. All right, fam. I'll see y'all in the Discord, and we'll be back next week to do more cool stuff with the Ecamm Live demo.
Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam.